This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and I have gone through the film. I've gone through the tape. I've looked at the stats. I have helped myself find a flaw in the Patriots. In fact, the flaw that the Patriots have directly concerns the position that I used to play in college. I'm going to talk about how the Seahawks can exploit and take advantage of that major flaw on today's video, and why that major flaw is going to be something that the Patriots just can't fix in 2 weeks of practice. Before we do that, check out my t-shirt. This thing is so freaking cool. Mob mentality. We've got the black t-shirt. We've got the navy t-shirt. It looks freaking sweet. Very affordable. $34.99. chatsports.com/mob shirt. We're going to have that link in the comment section and description of today's video. You got the main man right there in the middle. 4 stars all around him. Grab yours. You'll be the talk of wherever you are wearing this tee. The major flaw that the Patriots clearly have is that they turn the ball over at a scarily alarming rate right now in the playoffs. This is clearly something to me that the Seahawks can take advantage of. Now, is it a surprising flaw? No, because I think the Patriots know it. I think that the Seahawks know it. I think most of the National Football League knows it, so much so that Mike Reese, a great reporter on the New England Patriots, who works for ESPN, had this to say. Turnovers, same as Seahawks, the major flaw that the Patriots have. Maye fumbled 6 times in the Patriots' first 2 playoff matchups, and he also had a tipped ball intercepted against the Chargers. So the Patriots have been living dangerously at times with ball security. Youth is also a consideration. In addition to 4 undrafted free agents, the Patriots have all 11 draft picks from 2025 on their roster. The Super Bowl is a big stage for rookies. So the clear flaw is that the Patriots turn the football over too much. The other clear flaw that they have, and what's going to make it harder for them to fix this flaw, is that in a multitude of areas, the Patriots are weak, where the Seahawks are strong. And the Seahawks are going to be able to use their strength to force or potentially force more and more turnovers. How are those things going to happen, and why can't they fix those flaws in just 2 weeks? Well, I'm going to let you know about that in just a moment, but before I do, hit the dang thumbs up button. You want the Seahawks to win this game. You want the Seahawks to be the world champions. You want the Seahawks to have all the good things come to them. I certainly do. So come in, smash that thumbs up button. Don't jinx it. You want the Seahawks to beat the Patriots. I freaking love that the Patriots have a clear flaw that is this impactful to a game. How often this year have we seen the turnover margin be the difference between a team winning or losing? Just look at the NFC Championship game. That game was neck and neck the entire way. Why did the Rams lose? Because they turned the ball over one more time than the Seahawks did. In fact, Seahawks didn't turn the ball over at all. Rams turned it over once. And that's the difference in the game. It set up an easy score for the Seahawks. Seahawks ended up winning by 4 points. If that fumble doesn't happen, Seahawks might not score. Seahawks might not win that game. So the fact that the Patriots love to give the other team the football when and where they can, I feel pretty darn confident. So what are some of these reasons for these turnovers? Well, the first and most important one is Drake Maye, the quarterback of the New England Patriots. He had a stellar beginning of the year. He was a guy that was coming in and dominating, so much so that we're talking about him potentially being the MVP of this season. It's between Maye and it's between Matthew Stafford. His completion percentage was 72%. Almost thrown for 260 yards a game, basically 2 touchdowns, wasn't turning the football over, and he knew when to run the football effectively. Now, when you look at what Drake Maye's been doing in the playoffs, the averages are brutal, and they've clearly dropped. He's barely completing the ball 50% of the time, well under 180 yards per game passing, barely getting 1 touchdown throwing a game. Interceptions are basically at 1 a game. That's not even counting an insane amount of fumbles that we already know has and have continued to keep happening. And his rushing yards, well, they've had to go up because Drake Maye doesn't either trust himself to throw the football, or opposing defenses are doing a great job of getting into the backfield and making him have to scramble. Drake Maye is clearly, in my eyes, regressed as a passer. Now, there's a couple of different reasonings for this. One of them being, well, Maye, he's dealing with a shoulder injury. He's clearly had some soreness. He hasn't practiced a couple of days this week, or at least been a limited participant, didn't practice one day. And to me, that is a clear sign that it has been something that he's been dealing with the entire time. You can look throughout this entire postseason run and see a clear drop-off. Now, some of that obviously is from the shoulder injury that I just talked about. He doesn't have the same zip on the ball, doesn't have the same accuracy. But the other thing that you have to look at with Maye is the fact that it wasn't the most difficult schedule in the National Football League. The Patriots had the easiest schedule, and when you're looking at how Maye has played in the postseason, he's gone down a little bit because he's playing better defenses. There's a reason why they pay defensive players a lot of money, because they're good at their jobs too, right? So Drake Maye is now having to go up against stiffer competition, more difficult competition, and he's dealing with a shoulder injury, so he's not able to throw the football as effectively as he has been before. Do I think that Drake Maye is cooked or that he's fraudulent? It's Mickey Mouse. No, in fact, I think that he's going to be a very good quarterback. But to sit here and say that he's Tom Brady 2.0, that's just freaking ridiculous. Will Maye's injury play a major role in Super Bowl 60? Let me know what your opinion is down below in the comment section. I don't know if major role is completely fair, but there is no way that Drake Maye is not going to have some sort of shoulder soreness or have that shoulder injury not be an issue. It's not like it's on his left shoulder. Who cares if your left shoulder is sore? You play through it. When that sore shoulder's on your right side, your throwing side, that's a big problem. I think I just talked myself into it, Searle. I think that's going to be a major injury and a major role in that game. The other problem that has led to a lot of turnovers, the offensive line in New England sucks. As someone who has started to watch a little bit more Chargers football this year, Chargers have a horrible offensive line. The offensive line for the New England Patriots is not very good, and they've gotten worse in this postseason, in my personal opinion. When you look at this crazy stat, I had to walk over to our Patriots host, Brett Alper, and say, this stat has to be wrong, right? Drake Maye, there's no way in 3 games he's been sacked 15 times this postseason. To which Alper had to look at me and go, well, yeah, he actually has. So right now, Drake Maye is getting sacked on average 5 times a freaking game. That is an insane stat, and it's probably why you're seeing more and more shoulder soreness. The offensive line for the Patriots, I don't know if it was supposed to be their strength. That might be a bit of a boost that they don't necessarily deserve. But I'll tell you right now, this starting 5, they haven't looked good at all. And the 2 that have looked the worst are the 2 that are in the most important position when it comes to keeping pass rushers off your quarterback. And that's the 2 tackle spots. Will Campbell has gotten cooked in multiple games this postseason. Now, congratulations. You did good against Nick Bonito. Congrats, Will Campbell. You really struggled against Odafe Oweh, and you really struggled against Will Anderson Jr. Morgan Moses, well, then he ends up having his struggles against the Denver Broncos. When I look at these 2, it looks like a matchup that I really love for the Seattle Seahawks defensive line. I think Shaq says this whenever he gets on a defender that can't stop him, barbecue chicken. Kind of feels like that with what the Seahawks defensive line is going to be able to do to those tackles. Campbell is not going to be able to sit back and reach a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence because he has such long arms, or a guy like Leonard Williams. They are going to run right through him. On the other side with Moses, there's no way he keeps up with a Boye Mafe or with a Uchenna Nwosu. Just doesn't have it. The speed is different. This D-line is going to absolutely wreak havoc. The last thing is the weakness that this Patriots team has at wide receiver. Frankly, I should have thrown tight end in there as well because no one in that unit or either of those position groups really scares me all that much. Like, we got Stephon Diggs up on this picture. We're going to dive a little bit into the stat line that he's had here in just a moment. But does Stephon Diggs in the year of 2026 scare you? Is there anything going on with Stephon Diggs where you go, wow, that's a star wide receiver in the National Football League? Here's his regular season stats. Does it really jump off the page? Barely 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, played in every game this year, couple of catches, yards per average, pretty dang low. He just isn't that good anymore. He's just not someone to me that is a number 1 wide receiver on a team. And unfortunately for the Patriots, but fortunately for us, He has to be the number one wide receiver. He has to be the number one option. So in my eyes, when I look at everything that's going on with this Patriots team, of course they're having turnover issues because they don't have wide receivers that are going and winning one-on-one matchups. They're throwing 50-50 balls up for wide receivers that aren't coming down with them. This Patriots team, their quarterback has regressed slightly because of the competition that he's playing against and, of course, because of the things that he's dealing with in his injury. The offensive line can't keep the defensive linemen or blitzing backers off of their quarterback. And at wide receiver, who's getting open? And the guys who are getting open, if it's a 50-50 ball, they're not coming down with it. So, of course, there's a turnover issue. And, of course, the Seahawks can take advantage. Mike Macdonald does a great job of getting his players in the right position to go and make those plays. Is there a Patriots player that scares you? I just went through everyone. If you say Drake Maye, I kind of get it. But you're banking off of what he did in the regular season, not in the postseason. If you say Ramondre Stevenson or you say Travion Henderson, like, oh, okay, I guess I kind of get that. They've ran the football well, but that's really all they've done. And I trust the Seahawks defense to get stops against that rushing attack. You say Stephon Diggs, I'm going to ask you, I didn't realize it was 2021 anymore. I'm going to make fun of you for that. This Patriots team isn't that good. There's no one that really scares me. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button on today's video. We really appreciate you coming in and checking out all that we have here today. Of course, you want to hit that thumbs up button because you want the Seahawks to come away with a victory in that Super Bowl. Make sure you hit that sub button. By the way, we just passed 83,000 subscribers. We're well on our way to 84, 85,000. Who knows? Maybe by this time next year, we'll be right at that 100,000 mark. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video, and I'll catch y'all next time.